This book, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm holding in my hand
It's a Bible.
is an Islamic manual of fiqh.
Fiqh.
Of fiqh.
Okay. What's that about?
Sorry, hay fever.
What's that about?
It's all right. The demons always try to stop me from talking. But, so ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear. This is a book of Islamic fiqh. It is a manual of Islamic law. It is used by Islamic jurists to give their decisions about the proper practice of Islamic law. I am going to show you from this book that this book calls for a legal apartheid against Christians, where Christians will be treated as second-class citizens.
Legal
Please don't feed the troll. Just ignore him. No, ladies and notice he's running away all of a sudden. Notice he's running away all of a sudden. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's just pull ourselves in. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just find some examples. Right. Let me ask you this question. If I was to create a law, imagine I was dictator of England, and I created a law that said that the punishment for killing a Muslim was less than the punishment for killing a Christian, would you agree with me that that law is discriminatory? Yes or no? Put your hand up if you would say yes. So a lot of you think it's okay. A lot of you didn't put your hands up. So I imagine that a lot of you think that it's okay to have two tiers of punishment for the same crime. Let's try this again, because either you weren't listening or you're not participating. If you think, for example, let's do it this way, because your liberal trained minds will suddenly tune in. Let's say I was dictator and I said that the punishment for killing a black person would be less than the punishment for killing a white person. Would you agree with me that that law is discriminatory? Put your hand up. Suddenly everybody clicks. Suddenly you switch on. No, ladies and gentlemen, switch the word black for Christian and white for Muslim. Do you agree that the same law on the basis of religion would be discriminatory? Put your hand up. There you go. Let me show you that Islamic law teaches that the life of a Christian is valued as less than the life of a Muslim. This is quoting from Reliance of the Traveller, Section O, Section 4(9), and we read, the indemnity for the death or injury of a woman is 1/2 the indemnity paid for a man. So women and Muslim women, your lives are valued as less than the lives of Muslim men according to Sharia law. And I've just quoted the Shafi'i manual of fiqh. I'll read it again, Muslim women. The indemnity for the death or injury of a Muslim woman is 1/2 of the indemnity for a Muslim man. Is that discrimination? Listen to the next bit. The indemnity paid for a Jew or a Christian is 1/3. Everybody shout 1/3.
1/3.
1/3 of the indemnity paid for the life of a Muslim. How is that not discrimination under the law? How is that not bigotry? How is that not institutional Christophobia? And yet, our liberal elites will call us Islamophobic for telling you about this. They will call us Islamophobic for standing up against what Sharia law calls for. Let me ask you, Christians, do you want to be treated as citizens of less worth?
No.
You sound very shy.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Let me ask you again. Do you want to be treated as second-class citizens?
No.
Then you must oppose Islam and Islamization.
Yes.
Let's go on. And Arabization, yes. Let's go on. It goes on. I'm lying by quoting his own books. That is how stupid the Muslim critics are of my position. They have no argument. They can only throw out a slur that I'm lying. I didn't write this book. I did not publish this book. Muslim scholars wrote it. Muslim institutions published it. And it is sanctioned by Al-Azhar University in Egypt, Cairo, the highest seat of learning in the Muslim Sunni world. I am not the one that is lying. The Islamists are the one that are lying, and the liberals are the useful idiots that are believing the lies. Let us go on. When the indemnity, let's go on and give another example. Bear with me 1 second. Right. Muslims believe that practiced amongst themselves is a like-for-like punishment. If you're a Muslim man and you kill a Muslim man, the punishment can be that you lose your own life. Would you agree that that's equality under the law for Muslims? Let me show to you from their own book that that is not the fate of the Christians. The reasons given why a life-for-life punishment is not instituted are on the following conditions: that a Muslim has killed a non-Muslim. Did you all hear that? If a Muslim kills a non-Muslim, according to Sharia law, they cannot be killed as punishment.
Does it sound fair?
Does that sound fair to you, Christians?
No. No way.
Is that how you want to be treated, Christians?
No.
Then you must stand up to Islam and Islamization.
Amen.
It goes on.
There's more. Okay.
If a Jew or a Christian kills a Muslim apostate, the Christian or Jew cannot be killed, because the life of a Muslim apostate is worth less than the life of a Jew or a Christian. Do you see the pyramid structure that is being created? What's another word for a legal pyramid structure that we saw in South Africa or in America in the 50s? What did we call it?
Apartheid.
Apartheid. Islam sanctions religious apartheid. And our liberal establishment are ignorant fools who do not know what it teaches. As a nation, we must push back against Islamization.
Amen.
Let me go on. Let me go on and read you something else.
Hit the like, oh.
When it comes to marriages, ladies and gentlemen, listen to the discrimination and the apartheid legal structure of Islam concerning marriage.
Okay. Read it.
Listen.
Listen.
It is unlawful. Everyone say unlawful.
Unlawful.
Some of you guys really need to use your diaphragm. It all comes from the diaphragm, people. It is unlawful for a Muslim to marry a woman with one parent who is Jewish or Christian, while the other is Zoroastrian. In other words, the very fact that a woman has a Zoroastrian parent means that a Muslim cannot marry them. But it goes on to say, it is not lawful or valid for a Muslim man to be married to any woman who is not either a Muslim, a Christian, or a Jew, nor is it lawfully valid for a Muslim woman to be married to anyone besides a Muslim. So in other words, even if the Muslim woman wants to marry a Christian, under Sharia law, she can't. But it is okay for a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman. That discriminates against women and it discriminates against Christians. The liberal elites tell us that they are against misogyny. The liberal elites say that they are against sexism. But the liberal elites will not condemn Sharia law. And why? Because they are cowards in their hearts. They are afraid to tell you the truth. But we Christians are not frightened of telling you the truth. We Christians tell you the truth, and then we say, have courage, stand up against evil. Sharia law is evil, ladies and gentlemen. I have not finished. I want to get on to something else. I want to show you something else. So, ladies and gentlemen, wait. If there was ever an Islamic State established, listen to how you Christians will be treated under that Islamic State. Anyone who becomes a Christian will be killed. We've already read that the life of the apostate is forfeit. But listen further. In section O, 11.5, parts 2, 5, 6, 7, and part O, 11.6, we read, such non-Muslim subjects are obliged to comply with Islamic State rules that pertain to the safety and indemnity of life, reputation, and property. In addition, they, the Christians and Jews, are distinguished from Muslims in dress, wearing a wide cloth belt. When was the last time in our history we distinguished a group of people by making them wear certain clothes?
In the Holocaust.
When?
World War II.
Who did it?
Nazis.
The Nazis to the Jews.
They did.
And yet Sharia law is saying that we Christians must be identified
Like that.
by distinguished forms of dress, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the ideology.
That is something practiced by Nazism, but the liberals will condemn it when the Nazis do it, but they won't condemn it when Islam teaches the same. Here is another example. Bear with me.
Right, Bob. It's like family. We have everyone. Nice.
Christians and Jews
Okay.
must keep to the side of the street.
Ah, one side.
Did you all hear that?
Ah, one side.
Imagine if I stood here today
Yeah.
and said to you all that black people must keep to the side of the street, or that Jews must keep to the side of the street, or that Muslims must keep to the side of the street. How many of you would call me a bigot? Put your hand up.
Bigger.
I hope all of you would.
That's white devil.
All of you should have put your hand up. And you would be right for doing so. But why won't you call Islam bigot when it says exactly the same for Christians and Jews? Why won't you call it a bigoted ideology?
Why?
Let me read on.
Read it.
Christians and Jews may not build higher than or as high as the Muslims build. Though if they acquire a tall house, it is not to be raised. Imagine if I said that Muslims couldn't build big mosques higher than the churches. How many of you would quickly realize that I would be called an Islamophobe?
Yeah, straight away.
So why are we not saying Islam is Christophobic when it is teaching the same thing? Why this double standard in our expectations, or this double standard in how we deal with the bigots from the right and the bigots from within the Muslim community? Furthermore, it says, Christians and Jews are forbidden to build new buildings. Did you all hear that? Christians and Jews cannot build new buildings according to Sharia law. If I was to say that there should be no new mosques built in England, it would take exactly 1 minute before a liberal called me an Islamophobe. So why are those yellow-bellied, liver-livered, cowardly liberals not willing to say that Islam is Christophobic? It says that Christians and Jews are forbidden to openly display wine or pork, or to ring church bells, or to display crosses, or to recite the Torah and the gospel aloud, or to make public display of their funerals and feast days. That's what it says in this book of fiqh
Fiki.
from the Shafi'i madhab,
Ah, okay.
used by Qadis in Islam to give fatwas to the Ummah. If I was to say the same about Muslims, I would be condemned by the left. So why, O left, will you not condemn Islam for stipulating those things about me as a Christian? And why is it so wrong for me as a Christian to say that I oppose this legal system, that I oppose this bigotry, that I oppose this discrimination? Why the double standards? Why must I be quiet about a religion that wishes to oppress me just for the crime of being Christian? I say to you liberals that to a last man and woman, you are cowards and you are hypocrites. And I say to you Christians that if you do not mobilize yourselves to oppose this system of law, that you are also cowards, because you have failed in your love to love your brothers and sisters in Christ by protecting them from harm. If we are disciples of Jesus, and Jesus says, love and serve one another, does it not follow from that command that we should protect one another from harm? Yes. And if that harm should come from an Islamic ideology, are we then not obliged as Christians to protect one another from Islam? Yes. If I am wrong, and you are a Christian, come and oppose me here. Show me that I am wrong using the Bible. And that is an open challenge every Sunday of every week that I'm here. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?